1, 2, 3.
That was the best clap I think we've ever had.
Yeah.
It was the recording, the MBBC before this, that we got the practice we needed.
Yeah. That's some good tea.
So I immediately sat down and went to put my wired headphones in, but I already had my AirPods in my ears.
Right.
So I just like poked. It's the weirdest feeling where you like, 'cause my wired ones are just like the like Apple wired ones, which are exactly the same as the AirPods except like with the wire.
Yeah.
And I just like bumped them into the already headphones that were in my ears. It was like the strangest feeling. I feel like if you picked up some glasses to put on your face and then your glasses were already there, it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, Nanny? It's like the thing where like you're trying to look for something you're holding in your hand and you're like, oh god, you idiot.
Yeah. Except there's an extra layer. It would be like if you were trying to look for something you're holding in your hand, and then you see it and go to pick it up with your hand, which is already holding the same object.
You're like, oh, there it is. Oh, wait,
yeah, it's like you're already baffled because the thing was already like in your hand, but then you're more baffled because you're like, where did the second one come from?
Yeah. It says here, Captain Crunch. Have you found out his things and stuff?
Oh, that was so long ago that we
was
I'm trying because to, of the holidays.
Yeah, that was the God Bless Vespucci Land, but
right.
But yeah,
I mean that was the previous episode. It's just we recorded. I think we recorded the New Year's episode before Christmas. So like
so we recorded both of them like mid-December.
Yeah, and then we waited so long to record this one. We just basically took the holidays off, but we planned ahead so that it wouldn't seem like it.
I've had school in between, so not really have a holidays off.
I mean, off from recording.
Oh man, what a treat. No, yeah. Anyhow, I'm guessing this is to do with what Captain Crunch actually is.
Oh, no. It was the line I noticed. I think while editing this and looking up things for the show notes.
Yeah.
I mentioned that Captain Crunch was named, what was it, Horatio? I'm going to get it wrong now because I don't have it pulled up anymore. It's like Horatio Magellan.
Yeah.
And that you were like asking about Crunch, and I said, oh, I guess that was just a nickname.
Yeah.
Here it is. According to a humorous 2013 Wall Street Journal article, the mascot, whose full name is Horatio Magellan Crunch, captains the ship called the Guppy. So his last name is Crunch. I know all those people writing in to correct me.
Yep, your inbox is just filled with emails.
Yeah. Magellan is his middle name. Clearly it's his middle name is after the guy whose expedition sailed around the world.
Yeah.
That's all. There's the corrections and clarifications.
Yeah. I think I've got something wrong about Guy Fawkes, whatever, but no, it doesn't feel too relevant now. It's just that kids 100% went to the execution as school trips. Oh. Taken by their teachers.
Wow.
Man, imagine trying to get that slip signed with your parents. It's like, oh, Mum, can I go on this school trip? And it's like, watch sure this criminal get brutally murdered. Well, not murder, but brutally deaded.
Yeah, I'm sure the teachers like sold it as a historic event that they would be witnessing.
I mean, I'm guessing it's just more
educational.
We better show kids what will happen if you step out of line.
Oh yeah.
Because the whole thing of hung, drawn, and quartered is that, it doesn't really work as a punishment because, you get dead. It's more of a thing because treason was seen as heresy and so on and so forth.
Yep.
That's,
so, yeah.
Also, the quartering part, the process is a bit... So, I kind of got the process mixed up. Probably no one cares, but I care. But what they would do is they would drag you to your execution place on horseback, but you'd be dragged behind the horse.
Right.
Then they would cut you open, take out all your insides, like your non-vital ones, so your life for the whole thing, burn them. Hang on, no, I forgot the middle. So before they do that, they hang you, but just before you die, they take you out. Then they do the weird organ burning, and then they just take off your limbs and legs and hang them around London. But actually, Guy Fawkes, when he was getting executed, he was quite smart. So when he was being hung, he jumped so he would break his neck and die. He was a smart boy. It wasn't even Guy Fawkes that planned the whole thing, but I'm not going to get into 1600s politics.
This is our correction section.
Correction section. Oh, that's way better than follow-up. Oh, no. That's it. The document's getting renamed.
Well, I mean, follow-up isn't always correction, but that's what this is. Oh, I see you're changing it in the... Nice.
Gonna have that assonance. But, yeah. I think that's all the follow-up.
Yeah, and from my understanding of this, that's kind of... like you were saying about the kids probably going to see it to, like, be taught a lesson about, like, don't commit treason.
Don't be naughty.
Yeah, from what I have heard on this topic, I think generally it's the reason we don't have them today and the reason that they've been, like, they stopped being a thing.
Yeah.
Was because it was the government who would do them would realized it wasn't getting the result they wanted.
Yeah.
It wasn't because people had, like, a distaste for them as much as it was because, like, the governments realized, like, oh, we're publicly butchering this person to discourage people, and they're, like, throwing tailgate parties and like, you know, idolizing some of these people in a way that we really wish they wouldn't. It's just weird to think about in our modern world, but moving on.
Yeah. So, we ready for the quiz we have been planning for months?
Oh yes, the quiz, which both of us forgot to do, and I mean, we've been sitting on this one waiting to do it.
Yeah, and we thought with a trailer that came out.
Yeah, over a month.
But yeah, we just had to pick, quite a relevant topic. So, Ska, which Marvel character matches your personality?
Which Marvel character?
Start the quiz.
Yeah, I guess we'll find
out.
Let's try and avoid any Marvel spoilers.
Yeah, especially since I don't think any of us have watched the Infinity War yet.
I did see Infinity War just recently. I finally got around to it, but...
okay, well, this should be fun.
But yeah,
the Marvel Okay. The Marvel superhero teams are all drafting new members. Which do you want to be a part of? The cleanup team? The ones that deal with all the stuff after the battles? Because that's actually kind of interesting.
Isn't that S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, it's, hang on.
So our choices here are the Avengers.
Damage
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Control, that's what they're called. Is it just a team of superheroes that specialize in cleaning up after all the other superheroes? But anyway, so the options are...
Who is on Damage Control? What's an example?
Or might not be superheroes.
Is that where Squirrel Girl is from, or whatever?
I think she's just from Stan Lee's Deepest Fantasies.
Okay.
So let's check the Wikipedia. Oh god, can I just have it? Okay. Yeah, they seem to just be normal people, but it just has a list of owners, employees, type of business, but it's just like this is laid out as if it were a proper company, which I think is quite funny. Oh, it was all originally owned by Tony Stark, would make sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. That's why I was...
Because he was trying to do all that.
Yeah.
But they've had to deal with all of the superheroes like stuff. But yeah, okay, cool.
Right,
Let's close that. Like, back to the quiz. Which would you join? Well,
okay, so
Shield is technically...
the choices are the Avengers, Shield, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four.
Well, Shield is secretly run by Hydra, so definitely not.
Are they
the Avengers have to deal with Thanos, so definitely not. And the X-Men is, as the meme says, perfection. And the Fantastic Four, they have garbage movies. But the X-Men, I'm gonna say the X-Men because you get to go to a fancy school and wear a cool uniform.
I'm definitely saying the X-Men. Like, there's so many reasons. But like the Avengers, it's too high profile.
Right? Know? Yeah. It's like how Sherlock Holmes, like in the TV series, he hated being seen in public. He got kind of famous. But
there's costs that come along with that, like because then like the government's gonna want to tell you what to do, and like people aren't gonna like recognize you in the street or like be like judging your actions on TV. Like the X-Men, like
which happens in Civil War, Civil War was all about that being like the all government side of superheroes.
The X-Men, they don't. I mean, Shield would probably be second, but I mean, if it's a choice between, I'm assuming if I'm a member of the X-Men, then I have superpowers.
Yeah, like you're
Shield,
not just
I'm
like
assuming
the
I'm
intern.
just like an agent. So
yeah, and also Shield is technically run by Nazis.
Well, it doesn't say Hydra, so I'm gonna assume they're talking like actual like legitimate
Shield before like the whole.
And the Fantastic Four, it just seems like a weird option, because
aren't they all family members?
Well, no, only two of them.
But they're all like.
But there's four of them. It's like the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they can't have.
I don't think they're drafting new members. It says the Marvel superhero teams are all drafting new members. Like, or are they going to be the Fantastic Five? I mean, I guess that
what
could
could
work.
you add to the team? You have an invisible person, a stretchy person, a lit boy, and a thing.
A lit boy.
A lit boy and a thing.
Yep.
So X-Men are clearly the best option.
Right.
Also, if the
What motivates you? I hope we don't pick the same options all the way through, because then we'll just be the same person. We'll have to fight.
Wait, what? I've clicked the X-Men. What happens? What do I do?
You scroll down.
I see. You scroll down. I say, what motivates you? Not much. I seek adventure. I don't want to be alone. A sense of duty. Petty jealousy, mostly. Oh, petty, not... Petty jealousy, mostly. I want justice! I want to be better than everyone. Okay, calm down. I want revenge. You know what you did, Jonathan.
I've already picked mine. What are you going with?
Adventure.
Okay, I went with not that much. Motivation's hard.
Tonight's the night. You're going on your third date with the most perfect person in the world. What makes them so attractive to you?
Ooh.
They're really, really rich. They're super ripped. Sarcastic and witty. They have a strong moral compass. They've got a wicked charm to them.
They have this.
They can keep a secret like no other. They have this.
I'm gonna go with sarcastic and witty.
I mean, how is this?
You're thinking rich, aren't you?
Nah, no. Me. How dare you? I'm not that shallow. I don't see the one that. No one. Never mind that.
Are you trying to pick them based on so you get a specific person?
No, I'm trying to think which one, but I guess sarcastic and witty would be
the one thing you're not supposed to do with these.
Well, no, I'm not, but I'm just trying to think with it's like with the Smash Bros, because I was like, oh, I can clearly see, but probably same as you, I don't know, a good sense of humor is all right. All these other ones seem to have apart from the dark intensity, that's well,
I mean,
that's not family friendly, but
super smart could be good. I don't know.
Sure, let's go for wit, because it seems I don't know. Sure, let's go for that one.
Okay, witty.
When it comes to relationships, Would you ever date another superhero?
I didn't realize this was going to be like Match.com.
Yeah, absolutely. I need someone to
superheroes.
understand my lifestyle. No way. It's too dangerous. I'm not really interested in dating. Where's the one where it's... How about...
Hello, Thor.
Yeah, like, I'm guessing, like, the...
Wrong mythos, I guess, but yeah.
One of these is just the 3 stages of Spider-Man. I don't know. Whomst. Yeah, I'm saying, no way, it's too dangerous. How about, like, I don't know, anywhere the wind blows doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah. Where's
So,
the
like,
queen
it's like, I
option?
don't... Yeah, where's the... I can do whatever.
There's...
Like, there's... Yes, absolutely, I can only date superheroes, and no, it's too dangerous.
Yeah, but there needs to be a 4th option. We need some Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, we need some of that. We need some of that queen.
There should be yes, no, I'm not interested in dating, and I only date Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean,
option
option
C.
What you just said. Anyway, the wind blows
Option
doesn't
B,
really
none of the
matter to
above.
me.
I don't know. I guess it would be best to have a superhero.
Yeah, between these choices, that's what I'm going with. But
Yeah, if you had it your way, you'd like your last meal to be. I mean, I would go for fast food because look how much food that is compared to like candy's. Like, yeah, sure, it tastes good. Also, I like how there's just bacon on its own. This is
apple
appealing
pie,
to
bacon, fast food, or candy.
like
I mean,
only one of these is like considered a proper meal. Like, you get your drink, your fries, your burger, your onion rings, your whatever. Like it.
Yeah,
Maybe
the fast food
if
is
you
going to
get-
give you the most energy if you're like a superhero and you're trying to like fight
for your
to
last meal,
survive.
if you get, yeah,
it's going to give
if
you more
you-
than just eating candy.
what you could do if you're on like death row, you could get like those big cups that like how they always have those names like bottomless, and if you get that, then you will never finish your meal, so you will never die.
I think you will
Yep,
eventually.
That you'll die of dehydration and malnutrition before. Actually, way after. Never mind. But fast food is the only one that seems like a proper meal. I mean, apple pie depends on the. Also, they've shown a picture of apple crumble.
Yeah, that is weird. I'm gonna go with the apple pie / crumble.
But the yeah.
But
This
you
is the
should
thing, it's
go.
like-
You go with fast food if you think.
I mean, now I'm thinking about like, because fast food is the only one that's a proper meal. But I like me a good pie / crumble.
I'm taking it as like.
You need strength to fight someone.
Well, no, if it was strength to fight someone, I would go with fast food. But it says last meal.
So like the earth is about to end.
So like if I'm just gonna die regardless, like
Oh, I see. So it's not like a.
might as well just have like the one I like the most, which would be apple pie.
Oh yeah, because fast food always kind of makes you feel weird afterwards.
Yeah.
No, maybe if it's like a solid homemade apple crumble by Mimima, and it has a bit of rhubarb in there, and cinnamon, with a bit of custard and ice
Although
cream.
it does say your last meal on Earth. Maybe you're gonna have meals somewhere else.
I wouldn't mind a bit of sure, homemade apple pie or crumble. I'm pretending that says crumble. You suspect someone close to you has betrayed you. What do you do? Where is the? I'll just have a few words with them over drinks.
I love this picture.
The last one, like it. I love. Wait, where's the one where it's kill them before they destroy them? Of course. Like probably the last option. It's just have a nice discussion with them about it in a friendly context. Trick him into confessing. I'm gonna go for the last option because it feels like the nicest, less confrontational way to do it.
What? Have a few words with them over drinks?
Yeah, just talk to them about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a similar one, but I'm gonna go with confront them about this terrible.
I think
rumor.
confront them sounds a bit more like, I guess it's a bit more like aggressive.
Aggressive, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Continue the quiz. Ooh. Oh, is that it? Okay, right. Should we do it? Say it at the same time.
Wait, no, there's more questions.
What? Oh, what? Oh.
That's
Oh,
just
am
the
I?
next
I thought-
question.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I was confused as well.
I was like, hang on. What? How did that happen? Okay, no.
All right.
Doctor Doom has stolen the powers of Silver Surfer and taken over the world. How will you stop him? Since Doctor Doom is bound by honor, I tried to reason with him, and if that didn't work, I'd use force as necessary. I'd fight him. I'm smarter than him, and my ego demands it. Well, that depends. Is the person I love in danger? Well, I try. Okay, I can kind of tell which answer gives you what hero. I'd be patient and wait for the right time to strike. I'd join the Fantastic Four. Well, I try to always do the right thing, even if that means getting my butt handed to me. Well, that depends. No, I already read that one. I mean, I guess the first one, because again, it's.
So I was about to comment on how the person making this quiz seems to be a little bit biased towards Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Like, they seem to be popping up in a lot of these questions. Like, this question is completely focused on Doctor Doom.
I guess.
But I've got to say, this is the first one of these quizzes I've ever seen that has, well, it depends on one of the answers, because that's always my reaction.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of these quizzes I've done where it's like, oh, you're setting this up as if it has to be one or the other, but it's entirely dependent on this factor that you don't tell me whether or not it's the case.
Yeah.
So I love that this one says, well, it depends, is the person I love in danger? Because it's like, that could totally change the way you react to it.
Yeah, I guess like the bound with honor one, that's quite logical in reasoning. I mean, this is like the trolley problem. This is like the trolley problem. Like, people say they would do this thing, but when you actually simulate them in the situation, they would not. Quite a good Vsauce thing about that. I think his mind, what's it called? Minefield, I think. His Minefield series, I think, first episode of season 2, he does this thing where it's like, I don't know, just link it in the description. But yeah, I guess like.
Oh, you're talking about that Vsauce thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just going insane slowly, talking to myself. But I think that
you said minefield like 5 times, and I was reading the answers on this one and not listening, and then I tuned in to hear you say minefield, and I was like, what?
But I guess the dog just talk to him again. I mean, logic and reasoning, Ben Shapiro style.
I'm going with join the Fantastic Four and work as a team. Because
sounds good.
Yeah, if I can recruit 4
I mean, yeah,
superheroes to help me,
you could, yeah.
Then we can go talk to him if we decide as a group that's the best thing. But
yeah. Oh yeah, that. No,
I mean, you stick with your answer. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll stick with it.
It's good that we're different.
You just got caught driving too fast. Now you've got a speeding ticket. What do you do? Pay it off? Yeah. Like, what are you, a piece of garbage?
I'd say thank you, officer, and pay the fine.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Please, the officer would be putty in my hands. I could talk them out of anything.
I'd rip up the ticket, flip off the cop. I'll take 2, please. I've got a really simple solution to this one. Be white.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Is that where's the be white? I don't see that as an option.
Skin bleaching? No, yeah, I would just pay the fine. If I got caught in a mistake, I'd be like, oh, okay, sure. Wham bam, thank you, officer.
I'm gonna go, ugh, I really can't be bothered with this. I'm already running late, because that's probably true.
Yeah, if you're speeding, either a piece of heck or you have a, yeah. What's your favorite part of being a superhero? What's the saving people? Where's the one?
Living a life of mystery. Having the
What?
coolest toys.
Sorry, but
Meeting other people like me. I always thought I was alone. Aw.
big
Using
sad.
my powers to help others who can't help themselves.
Yeah, like the last one I get. Like what? Yes, I save people for myself. Ooh, sorry, hit my mic stand.
I'm gonna go
What?
with having the coolest toys. Cause like, damn.
All right, calm down, Tony Stark. One of your co-workers is always putting you down. What do you do about it? Where's the one where I obliterate all of them and their family? You know, I can only take so much before I explain. I'd pull the person aside, talk to them privately, find out what's really going on. I just walk away. I've got bigger fish to fry. I mean, it says co-worker. They're not a fish. I dish it right back at them and make them cry. That'll show
Not a
them.
fish. You seem to be confused, question. You think it's a fish. It's probably... I don't work with fish, okay? So...
Hey, I'm not a fish person, you know. I'd take whatever they say as a compliment and diffuse the situation. Your mum's fat. Thank you.
I don't work at
She has
SeaWorld,
anorexia.
so-
I'm glad you've noticed. I'd turn their insult into a joke. That's probably what I would do. I don't know, man. Have you picked?
No, I'm still thinking.
Yeah, okay.
Have you
Ooh,
picked?
you can get a Google Home Mini for £29, reduced from $49.
Are you reading the advertisements?
Yeah. No.
Not
Get
Spawn.
on. Get 1 month for £1. Hurry, offer
Stop.
ends soon. On 3 months plan. Weight Watchers.
Weight Watchers. I thought you were reading Google Home.
No, I was reading different adverts.
Oh.
The
I've
City
just got
Loving
Expedia.
Kona. Sponsored by Hyundai. Available now with fantastic offers. Hyundai Top Gear magazine manufacturer.
Oh my god, I can't
the
read
year.
this, and I'm gonna cut all this out.
18 gadgets that may go out of stock soon. Actually, that's really... Okay, no.
Get tools to power your talent. Students save 60% on Creative
Okay.
Cloud.
Google Pic... Okay, have you
Pixel
answered
Book.
the question?
I've
Oh.
got that one too.
Yay. Jet 2 holiday... Okay, you know what? Have you answered the question?
I can't. I'm too busy reading ads.
Not a spawn.
Yeah.
Just take that sound bit and just play it over all of them.
Yep.
Okay, alrighty.
I can only take so much before I explode. I'd put the person aside and talk to them, find out what's really going on.
Actually, I might do the thing where I pull them aside because logical reasoning, Ben Shapiro style.
Would you actually do that, or like you just would like to do that?
I would like to do that, which is
Yeah,
what this
I think you
quiz-
should go with the one you picked because I feel like that's more accurate to what you would actually do.
Fine.
That's why you're supposed to do these
Fine.
quizzes. You're not supposed to try and figure out what answer gets you what thing.
Well, if you see here, because it's talking about fish, it's actually talking about Aquaman. And this is, of course, in the...
I
You know,
went
never
with the
mind.
fish. I went with the fish.
Okay. It's more of it like the insult one. I've got bigger fish to fry. Pucker mouth.
Well, I went with it because of the first half where it says I just walk away.
Yeah. I
There
mean,
wasn't
I like
an option where like I sit in the corner and cry.
Well, what I
So-
would, it's just like I walk away. I've got bigger fish to fry. You say it to me, and you throw him a packet of mints.
Yeah.
It's like, or like-
Literally frying some fish.
yeah, but or
In
like
the workplace, they're gonna be really annoyed.
we give them like a toothbrush. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. Next question. Nick Fury has asked you to represent S.H.I.E.L.D. and go out to dinner with a very important client. The only catch? Their breath is atrocious. How do you act? Ignore their breath and pay for the real meal. It's the right thing to do. I'd cancel the dinner date and order takeout. I can't stand annoying, smelly people. I'd polite offer. What? I
Politely.
had
It's just a typo, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, hang on, am I reading this wrong? Okay, I politely offer a mint and say, "This is a rare candy from another dimension that must be enjoyed and savored." Don't you? I swear, isn't it a thing to have like post-dinner mints or pre-dinner mints or something? I forgot what the thing is. I think it's post because you get I'd end the meal quickly and say, "Sorry, but Nick surely needs me to save the world. Text me." Honestly, I'd only be able to take so much before I said something offensive. I'd send someone else in my place to handle this. I guess the mint, because I know I like fun tussling people.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with
So,
just ignore it. Alright. Number 12.
You have a big day planned at work, but wake up with a cold. What do you do? Take a healthy dose of medicine and see how I feel in a little bit. Curl back into bed and get some rest. There's no way I'm going to work today. Suck it up and go to work. Hopefully I'll feel better by lunchtime. Call my boss and let him know I can sick, but I can work remotely. I mean, I guess it's a pick between the first one. Like, I would do the medicine, and if I still don't feel well, I'd call my boss.
Yeah. So go with the first one.
Yeah.
Because then it says, see how I feel in a bit.
Yeah, because that would, still,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going with the third one because I would just talk.
Okay. I'm going to close my
Alright.
eyes and press show my results. Also,
Alright,
Google
well, let's just press show
Wi-Fi.
results
Fast,
at the same
simple,
time.
reliable Wi-Fi. for
Stop
your
reading
home.
ads. Click show results.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Show me my results. Oh,
Hold
it's
tight,
working
our
on
magic.
magic.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. The Hulk.
Iron Man.
I mean, yeah, you did say you like toys.
I know, but I didn't
how
think
do-
that one question would sway it that heavily.
Yeah, no. I don't know why, like... I guess Tony Stark would understand the importance of not letting things bother you about clients.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yet again.
I'm just like Tony Stark, except without the money.
It's just the humble.
It's like too real.
It's not even a humble. It's just the humble.
It's like I could.
You've got fire in you, and it drives everything you do. Sometimes you wonder how so many people can just sit idly, while so many unjust things happen in this world. You're extremely intelligent, but have trouble managing your passionate emotions. The flip side of your anger, however, is that you're extremely empathetic to feelings of other people. You know firsthand how hard it can be to keep things bottled up inside. Share your supper... I'm not going to read the last sentence, I give up. Like, you go, now.
You're not afraid to just go for it, whatever it may be. Yes, you're arrogant, but that's only because you've accomplished so many cool things in life. Have I? If life gives you lemons, you'll find a way to revolutionize the entire lemon industry before breakfast.
Life gives you lemons, give back the lemons.
Tell life you don't want those
life's
lemons.
manager. You rue the day. Life will rue the day that it gave Cave Johnson lemons. I'm gonna burn your house down with the lemons. That's one of my favorite quotes from Portal 2. It was butchered by my terrible memory, but you know.
Yeah.
I
I'll accept Iron Man. I can see some similarities, except that I don't have money, which makes it hard to afford a giant metal super suit.
Yeah, I know. It feels like most of my questions were just talk. I don't know why the Hulk. I chose to avoid all the violent ones. I guess this is more Bruce Banner.
Right. Yeah.
It feels like it's more Bruce Banner than the Hulk.
Yeah, you just haven't hulked out yet.
Yeah, I can smash people in the face, but you know, I choose to be calm and collected.
Yeah,
just maybe I am the Hulk and nothing's angered me yet.
Yep, that's it. You're Banner.
Actually, how do you know you're
not?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna get poked by a gamma. Actually, if a gamma ray hit me, like, everything would die. It could happen at any moment. Sleep well tonight. Actually, yeah, how do you know you're not immune to everything but the thing that's gonna kill you? Or has killed you if you're listening to this in the afterlife?
You don't, but
Exactly.
you have no evidence to tell you that you would be.
Have you had any near-death experiences, Scar?
I mean, I've been in a car wreck before, and I've gotten in a fight before, but like not. I wouldn't say near-death experience. Although I suppose any car accident really is a near-death experience, unless it's just like.
Now we know
lot,
he's immune to cars, everyone.
Well, there's always. I say near because it's like there's always like the chance, you know.
Yeah, like
if
even
you had
stepping into a car is a near-death experience.
Right. If it had been like slightly more to the right, or like if the window had cracked or something, like there's always.
Whenever a car crash happens, that's all people seem to talk. Like if something to like an inch would have changed, I would be dead.
Right.
With that joyful thought in mind, we get on with the rest of the show, I mean.
I did have, between last episode recording and this episode, not a death experience, but I witnessed a shoplifting, like, I say shoplifting, like, there's the kind of shoplifter who, like, goes in with a big purse and, like, slips something into their purse and walks out, you know?
Right.
This was not that. This was like this guy like jumped over the counter and grabbed like 6 cartons of cigarettes in his arms and then just was like running out the door while the cashier was screaming.
What a sneaky boy.
It was not the stealth approach at all. It was I'm gonna reach over and grab stuff and walk out right in front of you.
Yeah. Wow, that was.
I imagine this sort of thing happens all the time, but I've also at the same time haven't seen like this specific situation in person before. Yeah.
So
that's.
But yeah,
have you ever had anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Have you ever witnessed someone breaking the law in like the public?
I mean,
you can think of.
I don't know. I've witnessed like probably drink driving before.
Oh yeah, probably like swerving or whatever.
Yeah, like they're driving just really stupidly. But nothing like too bad. Or like I've witnessed almost crimes. Like there was this gang of people surrounding this car and they were all kind of like shouting at it. And then the guy was about to get out, but then someone like came over and started shouting at it at this group of boys and they ran off. Actually, I have my house looks onto this car park, and just occasionally you'll look over and you'll just see people trading drugs.
Yeah,
I think I've seen like someone, like there was a car window open, someone ran up, gave the person money in the car and took out a white bag. I was like, oh okay, of course. As you were.
So sketchy. That's I've seen stuff like that too, but not that blatant.
It was in like broad daylight as well.
Wow.
It's just this guy. He just runs up to this car, like looking around, like, oh, I hope no one sees me. He gives the money, like sneakily, like tries to hide that he's got a thing of cocaine and puts it in his pocket, and just like runs away. And it was like
amateur hour over in Wabbles Land.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the most of a crime I've seen.
Yeah, it's weird, like, because statistically you'd think you'd like come across them more often with how often like robberies and things happen, but I don't know. I guess generally people don't, if they're trying to plan it, they want it to be at a time when there's not a lot of people around. So I guess.
Yeah. So I think I
that skews the numbers a bit, but.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Earlier today I was in London, and they had those posters everywhere for like those thieves that go around on mopeds and will just swipe your phone as you're
Right.
walking. So you're like, oh, I can't believe I didn't see that. But it's normally at night where they can't do anything, and it's quite easy to get away. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think wasn't there was a whole thing about whether police cars should be able to ram those people if they get close enough. But that slightly dark end aside.
Well, we were coming out of near-death experience, so I think that's
Quite yeah.
we're working our way back up.
Yeah. You gotta. Well, I said we both got a haircut within the last 2 days. Right?
No, well, okay, mine was a few days ago, but it was something I figured I should mention.
Yeah. You've had your hair quite long for a while.
Because here, I'll send you a picture.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I mean,
thanks.
from your vlog announcing not vlogging, that's the longest I've seen your hair, I think. Is it just mounted on your wall now as a
No, it's not
as a
mounted.
trophy? Wow, that is a long it. I'm trying to think as a point of reference. I guess that. Hang on, I have to pull up a photo of you. This feels strange.
Oh, don't pull up my videos. How cringe.
It starts playing them loudly so you can hear it.
No, please.
No
bold, please.
This is incredibly surreal. Yeah, no, that is quite long.
Yeah. It is no more. I
mean, I could go take a photo of the bin in my local barber's, but it'd be mixed in with everyone else's hair, so you never mind.
Yeah. No, I figured I'd cut it off and then go to a place and get it cleaned up, but
I see. So you got the whole.
But yeah, it's I'm still fine with using that as a representation of me. It's kind of been established at this point where it's green floof on the head.
Yeah, I'm guessing now it's more of a. Okay, is your hair still green, or is it whatever normal color?
No,
it is?
it's the normal dark brown. It was a little bit green on the ends of it.
Yeah.
But now that it's been
sense.
more cleaned up, it's not so much.
Yeah.
I might dye it again. I don't know, but I think I'm not gonna let it get out of hand like it did previously.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah. I mean, it has one of those weird things where it's you would. It's this weird thing, back, a few hundred years ago, everyone would grow out their hair long. But now it's, kind of, if you have long hair, it's oh, you're not, it's generally not seen as a good, people at school are told to, boys at my school are told to cut the hair if it gets, slightly big.
Yeah. People assume the longer your hair is, the less you put into maintaining it. And,
Yeah.
The more shaggy you are, and
Yeah, because with my hair, because I have kind of curly hair, I don't really bother maintaining it, really. Because it's curly, it kind of already looks scruffy. But it was getting to a point, at one time it's gone to a point where I could wake up and my hair would be you could tell where I'd been sleeping, because there'd just be this massive flat side of hair on my head.
it gets stuck in that position. Yeah.
It was like a wedge. I haven't had my hair that bad for a while, but it was eventually getting to that stage, because I could normally just fall asleep, wake up in the morning and get out fine, but then it was kind of at the point where I had to put effort. I was oh, you know what, I can't be bothered.
Yeah. Yeah, my problem was it was still short on the sides and the back, but it was long on the top. But it was getting so long on the top to the point where it was I could just take the hair from the top and tie it back like a ponytail.
Yeah.
So it's suddenly I have long hair when I wasn't when that was never my intention. And it's like, I don't really know how to take care of long hair. I'm like
Yeah.
I need to brush it, or like I should probably wash it more than I do. But if I wash it
Yeah.
too much, then the color goes out of it. It's like, it very quickly became a mess that I was incapable of dealing with. So
Yeah.
as the new year struck, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just fresh start.
Yeah.
Clean slate this hair thing.
Yeah. See, it feels like nowadays, like the most common like hairstyle is short around like the sides and back, and then just long on the top.
Yeah,
Or long.
it is sort of like, I think when people look back at like the 2000 or like the 10s, it's weird. Decades are weird around the millennium, because it's like, what do we call it?
The noughties. Yeah. I don't like it.
But when people look back at the 10s, I think that's going to be like the hairstyle that like they think of, they associate with it.
Yeah, because I've currently got like a kind of shortish, longish combo. That's what it should be called, the shortest, longish combo.
Yeah, some people are like more subtle with it than others, but like...
Yeah, mine's definitely a bit... some people like get it like completely shaved off and then have like a really weird floof, and I'm like, oh wow, that's really extreme.
Or you can have it blended more, or you have like a...
yeah, I've seen...
a hard line.
I have seen, hard line, or I've seen like a incredibly blended one, like, because there was this kid that was there before me, and I was kind of just like watching what the hairdresser was doing, and I was kind of watching, like looking at his head, and I started at his neck, and I looked up, I was like, wait, hang on, when did it get long?
Yeah.
Because it was like stubbly, and then it gets more gradually, and then, but yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts of variations on it, but I think that's generally like the hairstyle of this decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might go back to it in a more subtle way, or I might keep it short.
Yeah.
And may or may not dye like the short hair green, but we'll see. The
Like
problem
a
is like
palette
it doesn't. If I don't bleach my hair, it doesn't really show up with color.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's.
I mean,
it's just gonna be really dark.
At some point it was a bright green, but this photo here, it's gone like really dark. Yeah. It's got a dark boy green.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mind the dark green, but it's like even this dark green would not be showing up nearly as much.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you look at the difference in the color at the end of it versus the color at like the base.
Yeah.
Like the base is how it would look now, because that's not bleached.
Yeah.
The end of it was bleached at one point, so it was like when you bleach your hair, the color goes out and it becomes like blonde, and then you can put new color into it, so then you can put like the green in and it'll actually pick it up, rather than just like having a base of like dark brown to, like essentially black, and then you add color to it, it just makes it darker.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anywho, the hair cosmetic part of the podcast.
Yeah. I guess that's bit yeah. I'm interested by the Dollar General kettle. That is a lot of adjectives for a kettle.
Oh, so I was at the store, and I came across this new item, and I wasn't sure what it was. It says very clearly "new item."
Wow, wow. You know,
what is it?
Wow.
Do you know what this is?
So you know how you know what that thing that happens when you put water in a pot and put it on a stove? And it goes
like you're gonna make some pasta or something?
Yeah. So imagine a device that does that automatically with electricity.
Huh. I think I get what you're getting at here. So then you don't have to spend as much gas if you have a gas stove. Is that? And then you can pour that into the pot and make yourself some pasta.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's like a electronic jug.
Like a jug. Man, Americans are so innovative.
Yeah. You guys are really great over that. You know.
Brand new item, fresh in stock. Whew.
Man. Also, a Toastmaster kettle. That.
Toast. I guess they make toasters. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm guessing like it's a really weird name for. Like in the UK, we have really fancy like kitchen appliance names like Kenwood and
This was
Swan.
Yeah, I mean, this was at a dollar store.
Oh, what? That's a like.
Well, okay,
decent quality kettle.
It's a Dollar General is the name of the dollar store where things are generally $1, but nothing's $1 there. It's like it's just
right,
like
yeah, $13.50.
Yeah, it's just like a step up from a convenience store, I guess, but it's like not really. Yeah, I don't know. I think Dollar Tree is the one where it's like legitimately $1 for each item.
Man, I think this newfangled stuff. It's gonna die out in a few years. I tell you.
Yeah, it's obviously it's just a trend.
Yeah, just a. What's the word I'm thinking of? It begins with an F. Fad. Yeah.
I just don't see what product would, or like what consumable item would people use this for on a daily basis. I don't think there's any use for it in America.
Yeah, you guys you're not as much of a warm beverage drinker as us, because you have.
Well, everybody's got a coffee pot,
Yeah.
What other drink is there?
And they drink lots of. He says as he drinks some mint tea. But
people here are so behind. Anyways.
Yeah. Just a Finnish person just assaults you. But yeah. Yeah, I guess it's not exactly as needed. I remember having this conversation with me, you, some other British people, and islanders such as I, and some Americans. But yeah, we were like, oh well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You guys don't really need it. But it just
was that. Were you there when one of Ane's friends were in the chat?
We were watching a movie and he pointed it out and I was like, oh.
Yeah, and he had no idea what he was like. What?
And it wasn't even like it was a stove kettle. I was like, what is this? The 1920s?
Yeah, it's like. I thought he was joking at first, and I still kind of want to believe that, but he was legitimately confused.
I was like, what? But you can just put it in a pot.
It's just like, oh, small American child, you have no idea.
You have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sometimes people want hot water. Could it be to make tea? Maybe. Probably. Do you know what tea is? Other than like sweet tea, because you're like a southern child who puts sugar in cold tea and lives your life that way.
Yeah, iced tea. Oh man,
iced tea, but with like tons of sugar.
Ew, what? Iced tea? I swear, iced tea is just naturally sweet because it's like. What?
Oh, you should come visit me someday. I'll take you to Bojangles.
Okay, right. Bojangles sounds like one hell of a place. Also sounds like a Russian BoJack Horseman ripoff. But
no, it's like a KFC, but just in the South and better.
Hang on, I'm just about to say something that would show how bad at American geography I am.
Were you gonna say isn't Kentucky in the South?
No. What? No, I wouldn't. What?
It is.
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
Yeah, no, they compete.
Also,
it's like a
West Virginia. Okay.
But it's like KFC is like weirdly worldwide.
Yeah.
Whereas Bojangles is like just here, but it's like they came from the same roots, I guess.
Like In-N-Out is like, I don't know. I mean, we're getting Five Guys over here, so we're advancing.
Yeah. I didn't know what Five Guys was until like not too long ago.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently their food's not even that good.
Nah, I've been there once. I don't remember anything other than that we got it like to go or something.
Yeah,
and it came in like a brown bag, and they just filled the bag to the brim with fries. It was like there's a burger or something in the bottom, and then they just like poured Like, I assume they have like a drink machine, but for fries, like it's just a dispenser, and they just held the to-go bag under it until it was full.
Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah.
And just handed it to you, and there was like there's napkins and like a burger and whatever ketchup or whatever in the bag, but it's like you can't even get to it because it's just fries. It's just... I was like, well, they're not skimpy on the fries here, but that's for sure.
Yeah.
My one Five Guys experience.
And it was Five Guys and a lot of fries.
It was like, yeah, Five Guys burgers and fries and more fries and oh god, when will they end?
Stop.
It's like you get home and you tip the bag upside down and it's just a solid minute of waiting for the fries
like Mary
to stop.
Poppins Pass, but just all fries.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, well,
yeah, yeah, that is.
Well, I guess while we're on
unusual.
the segment of Scott having pictures on his phone to send you,
have you found?
I did get some magic cards between last podcast and this one, and this one is very me, and I feel like I'm just gonna share that. Look at him. He's a squirrel dealer.
I'm like, what?
I think this might be the only magic card with the creature type raccoon.
Yeah. Yeah, raccoon lizard bird. Wow. Do you like squirrels?
Sure. I deal in squirrels. Look, I don't taste the product myself. For anyone who's not looking at the show notes right now,
it's a
you go ahead and describe it.
It's like a photo. It's like the stereotypical like, do you want some watches type, like, so it's like a raccoon in like a fancy 1940s hat on with a big straight jacket, and he's got like the thing where you hold the coat open and you use your other hand to like gesture.
Yeah, he's got like a trench coat and he's
and it's just filled with squirrels
open.
and they're all going insane. They're just running around, like there's like some like crawling in his like belt and trousers.
I like the street lamp behind him. He's like,
yeah, and like the hedge, like
he's
what would be
clearly
funny
in
if
like
it
a
was
sketchy
like
area.
it'd be funny if it was like a squirrel under his hat.
Yeah, I assume there is.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
a squirrel with a gun. I assume that's
Just in
what's under
case.
his hat.
Just in case the trade goes south.
Yeah.
But yeah, that right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last random image off my phone. Well, not random, but you know.
Last, somewhat. Man, I'm really just like trying to think how we can.
So, I was trying to use Amazon on my phone, and there was an error, and I got this. And
it's like how sometimes when a web page errors, you get like the monkey thing from Google.
yeah, but this was the Amazon one, and it's genius. I mean, you can't be mad.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at this.
It's a good boy or girl.
Yeah, it just says, "Uh-oh, something went wrong on our end," and it has a little picture of a puppy, and it's so cute.
It'd be great if it went rut-row, like a doggo.
It's like maybe slightly emotionally manipulative of your customers,
like emotional blackmail, like in a sort of way.
Because it's like you want it, something goes wrong and you want to shout at Amazon, but it's like you don't want to shout at this puppy. What are you, a monster? There's nothing wrong. He didn't know.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you to stay away from r/dog-free, and you'll live the rest of your life as a happy boy.
I don't know what that is. I'm gonna cut that out of the podcast.
It's a subreddit of people who hate dogs, pretty much. It's not a fun.
Oh, dog free.
Yeah.
I thought you said dog 3. I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't think I want to know.
How I'm gonna segue into these next 2 points.
That's on you.
Speaking of seamless segues, I have a bus collection.
A bus collection?
Yep. Well, specifically double-decker buses, like the London ones.
Oh, double decker. That's cool. My brother had a bus for a little while. I'm assuming you're talking about like toy buses or like ornaments.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't like have just a large bus.
Wait, you don't have like a backyard with a double decker bus in it or something.
Like like those people that have like massive sections of a mansion dedicated to a car garage. This garage. I do apologize to my British heritage, but like you just go in and it's just a bunch of buses. But yeah, it's a lot of toy buses. I think what ended up happening is when we moved, we found like a couple buses and we just put them around my room. I was like, hey, you know what, I kind of like how that looked. And then I bought a couple in like charity shops, put them on the collection. And then my grandparents saw that I had a collection and then just bought me loads of buses. Not in one bulk, like over time they've been like on special occasions.
I had a
if
similar...
there's any people like looking for stuff, I want like I don't have like the fancy modern curvy buses. Actually I have like a vintage bus where it's like a carriage with 2 decks being horse drawn. I'll put a picture in the show notes, but yeah, I'm running out of space.
No, that's a good gift idea. If I need to buy you something, I'll get you a bus.
Continue.
But I've had a similar thing happen with ducks.
Oh, yeah.
Where just, I guess it was like an Easter or something. I got like a stuffed animal duck.
Right.
And then like maybe another Easter there was like a duck puppet, and I was like, oh, I like little hand puppets. I'm gonna mess with this while I'm in a store. And then it like whoever ended up buying it for me. And then it was like, well, now that I have 2 ducks, it's a collection. So it was like I started getting like duck stuffed animals like every year and like getting more and more of them. I was just like, at no point did I make a conscious choice to have a collection of ducks, but here we are.
Yeah, that's what happened here. It's just like, well, I mean, I guess I've started.
Now I guess I sort of have a similar thing with the raccoons, because I actually, but that one was more of a conscious choice where it was like I communicated that I enjoy raccoons and they're like my favorite animal. So
yeah,
now I have like a few raccoons laying around. But
yeah, like you have that raccoon guy with the sunglasses.
A raccoon guy with the sunglasses?
There's the photo.
I mean, I believe it. I just am trying to remember which one that was.
You sent a photo of one of your stuffed.
That might be
raccoons.
Raccoon. Was it Raccoon? Raccoon the
check.
raccoon. I'm sorry, that's a weird Dragon Ball reference no one will get.
Yeah, oh wow, what a.
Anyways,
yeah, but yeah. Oh, so I just think the ideas of collections are weird.
Oh no, what was that one?
Kind of cool.
That might be Roger. I don't know if they all have names, but I think that one is named Roger, and he has sunglasses. And now that's gotta be in the show notes, I guess. Yeah.
it just sends loads of photos over. But speaking of material goods, I got a new phone. I guess it's pretty recent to when I've had my phone actually a month now.
You still with Huawei?
Well, before I was using a Motorola, but yeah, this is a solid phone.
Is it Huawei or Huawei?
Huawei. I know, I kind of just refer to it as the Chinese spy device. Yeah. But Huawei, yeah, it's quite... Yeah, it's quite a good phone. It's got both a fingerprint sensor and a Face ID. So that's quite funny. So, they'll have to type the passcode. The only time I need to type the passcode is if I shut down my phone. And when I try to like pick up my phone and put my finger on the fingerprint sensor, and it's like, no, you don't. That's not how this works.
Wait, it has fingerprints and Face ID?
Yeah.
How is this possible?
Yep. And voice recognition.
I don't believe it.
But yeah, I've gone adjusted to it, all its weird buttons and everything. Installed all the apps I needed. But yeah, it's a pretty reliable phone. It's got like the fancy like dual camera thing for, yeah, and the camera's AI guided, so the lighting looks quite good. But yeah, it's a good phone, and it's done me well so far. And no, what else was it? Was there anything? I think it was just.
I feel like there was some news about that company recently, but I can't remember what it was.
That, as I said, I nicknamed this the Chinese spy device.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Sorry, that went right over my head when you said that.
Yeah, Huawei's had a bad rap recently because they've been using their search results for naughty things.
Right.
But I guess it's fine. I mean, unless they're gonna use that data to track down where I live and do the death on me, I'm pretty alright with it.
It's still like, as long as it's a decent phone and functional and the price is low, I think that's the key thing. Like,
yeah, you can commit identity theft. It's just a good phone.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing, is if they're getting a bad rep, then that's probably that's gonna hurt them unless they find some other way to attract customers. And a lot of times that's bringing the price down. So it's like, I mean, it might be bad for them, and it might be bad for you if you are concerned about your privacy. But if you're not, it might be a good thing because you might get a better price. And like,
yeah, well, I think I got this phone, but then like a week later, the price dropped by like £50, and I was like, oh, god damn it, I couldn't be bothered to send it back and get a new one.
Because they were probably like, no, everyone is mad at us and they're not going to buy our new phone, and then lower the price. I'm like, please buy our new phone.
Yeah. I probably should say the type of phone it is. It's the Huawei Mate 20 Lite.
Is it light? Or does it have light? What makes it light?
Like, it's light, L-I-T-E. It's like a I don't know.
Was there a Mate 20 that wasn't light?
There's a Mate 20 that has like it. I'm gonna send another photo to you. Just look at. It's like a Frankenstein's camera. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'll send you a photo of my current phone, but this is the Mate 20. And it's got like 3 cameras and a flashlight, and then the Mate 20 Lite, it's only got the 2 cameras. Yeah, this is more like my one.
Oh, I see.
But it's just like a more, I guess, basic. Its camera's not as good, and it's got.
It's like the iPhone XR or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like it's the lighter model. I see.
And Pro, like light soda. The Pro just looks like the normal. It just has more fancy stuff.
Yours looks like it has the touch thing on the back though, and I don't see that on this other one.
Yeah. No. Never noticed that. Maybe it's more on the front, or just doesn't have, because the Mate 20 Pro has that, definitely. That's interesting. But
I like the one you've got. I think I would go with that one too.
Because it's the best phone for the best price.
Yeah, and it's got the touch thing, which I like, and I like that on my what do I have? 7? iPhone 7.
Right. Actually, what's a cool feature is I can use the fingerprint sensor to swipe down my what's it called, like the tab bar, so I can, yeah, it's just a lot more convenient.
Like to scroll?
Like, no, not just like to flick down like the thing, so you can open set like the tab, I guess, so like you can read notifications quickly.
Ah, okay.
So What's annoying is because my hands are a bit sweaty, the fingerprint sensor doesn't work as much. And then I'll be holding the phone at a weird angle, so then it won't recognize my face, so I have to end up typing in the passcode. And like, god damn it.
Yeah, I have that sometimes. I had like a day or two where mine just like stopped working, and I was like, do I need to clear it out and like reprogram my fingerprint? And
yeah.
Like, and then the next day it just like started working again. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. There's nothing has changed. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe my finger was dirty or something. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I guess after, I think I've put, like, how many fingerprints have you put onto my phone? Because I've put my left hand, my right index finger on my left index finger.
I don't remember what I have on mine anymore, because I had like a set of them on my phone, and then I threw it into the ocean.
If you're doing an animation of this, could we have a dramatic recreation?
Have you ever like told a story so many times that you just get tired with it? So you just the story no longer becomes like telling the story; it just becomes an exaggerated like hyperbole.
And then
version.
I grabbed
chucked my phone into the ocean.
And then I got my friend to set up all the clay pigeon shooting equipment. And then my phone somehow flew out of my pocket, got dislodged in the machine, flung out, me thinking it was a disc, shot it, and it went into the ocean.
Right, yeah.
It's like
a story about how you dropped your phone, and then it's like it ends up becoming like that time you threw your phone into the concrete and stomped on it. Like,
and then it drifted, like the bits drifted down, yeah.
Or actually, it's very similar to that story I tell sometimes about the time I bit that guy's fist.
Wait, what?
You know, have I not told you about the time I bit someone in the fist?
No.
Took a few hits, lost a few teeth. It was fine.
You're in a gunfight, the guy just jumps up, you just bite the bullet, spit it back at him. You're like, well, so there was this guy with a gun, and you kind of just, things happened, and I ended up with lead poisoning.
Well, I could have told it the normal way, but that's boring because I've told it so many times. Whenever something like that happens, you end up having to tell the story lots of times.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I brought it up, because it's at this point the story has evolved from like this time this guy like punched me to this time I bit this guy in the fist.
Oh, right. Anyway.
Yeah, that's how we got to that.
Right, I see, right. So it's...
Stories devolve
I
into
think that's
absurdity.
the point of origin here, of you just getting decked to...
Yeah.
I like the taste of blood. So,
I like the taste of knuckles.
Thing in the show notes. This is all you, man.
What? Oh. So... maybe I should have mentioned this when we were talking about Amazon. I don't know. This is the third time Amazon's come up in this podcast. Not Spawn.
And Google, probably. Google's come up. Sorry, my Google Home just responded to that. Continue.
Oh, no, wait. That was maybe only the second time. Because the other time was...
Oh, yeah, there was the dog. There was only one time of the dog.
I'm getting mixed up now that we're recording the book club. We'll get to that in a minute. But before we get to that...
oh, right, yeah, of course. Right. Anyway, continue.
So, there's this show called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon. It's one of their Prime original shows or whatever.
Right.
Do you use like any streaming services? Probably like Netflix or something?
I use Netflix. I watch a couple things on Prime, like The Office and Parks and Rec. I don't think we watched much else on Prime. I think I've seen a couple movies on Prime, but yeah.
Those shows are on Netflix in
America. Yeah, we know. I've watched. The way I got into The Office was my family watched it on the American Netflix. I think you could only access it using Firefox, but then I think something happened and they updated it so we couldn't do that anymore.
Oh, because Firefox is superior. I'll probably cut that out to save your family from indictment.
Okay, cool. But continue with The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh yeah, so I heard that was good, and I was like, I don't watch a lot of Amazon originals, because I tend to watch more stuff on Netflix. But I was
Right,
like,
right,
I'll check this one out.
right.
Um, so I watched it, um, and I was like, that was pretty good. I liked that show. It was well made. And then I was talking to somebody about it, and they were like, oh yeah, and then this happened in this scene, and I was like, wait, what scene? And I realized, so the way Amazon does their video player, it instead of sorting it by like show, it when you search, it'll come up with a specific season. Um,
Oh wait, is this a TV show or a movie?
it's a show.
Okay, right, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
sorry, I should have said that.
Right, okay.
But it'll if it's a show, like the way Amazon search works, it'll come up by a particular season, and then you click on
Right.
it, and it'll have that season pulled up, and you can then go and
Oh yeah.
see all the seasons in a list or whatever, and switch which one you're selected on.
Yeah. Actually, for when we watch The Office, yeah, it will get to the end of the season. Then, I think. I'm trying to remember. No, yeah, no. Sometimes it just.
Well, I think once you're watching it, it'll go in order. But when you
Right,
when you
okay.
go to look it up,
You'll only do.
like
Right.
like if I go to Amazon right now, and I type in The Office, in the Amazon Video.
Do you just type it on Amazon?
Yeah. I'm just gonna... Do you want to buy the DVD of The Office? No.
I mean, I already have the box set, but yeah. No, yeah.
But yeah, see, like here's Office Season 1, Office Season 9, Office Season 3.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
it's,
that's a.
they
Yeah,
have
it's a
it-
weird order.
yeah.
Yeah.
They-
Okay,
It just comes up by the season, and then once you click on one, it's like, then you're in it. But anyways, I guess somehow I ended up clicking on Mrs. Maisel Season 2.
Oh, so you missed.
And I never closed the tab it was in. I just left it up and like binged it over a couple of days.
So, how did you not notice?
So that's the
What?
thing is, I was actually like complimenting the show on its ability to just start like kind of in the middle of a narrative and let the audience like figure out the characters' dynamics without having to specifically be introduced to each character. Yeah.
I see, right?
Because that's kind of the tedious thing with shows sometimes. It's like I don't like when there's a ton of exposition up front. I much prefer to like for the creators to like not like underestimate the intelligence of their audience and just
Yeah.
like throw you into a world and let you discover the world just by experiencing it.
Right.
So I actually was like complimenting it on that, and I thought it was really good. And then I realized I skipped all of season 1.
So as the
Oops.
show lost some credit points.
Probably. I haven't gone back and watched season 1. I don't know if I want to. It's just
Right. That.
like there was. I mean, if you are interested in watching that show, I guess. Slight spoiler warning. Skip ahead like 2 minutes or whatever. But
There'll be a timestamp probably.
no, don't promise that. That's just more work for me.
No, I can edit this episode in. What, 2 days? No, never mind. I don't have time for that. I'm busy.
It's
Schoolwork.
Anyway, all I was gonna say is that there's like a breakup in the show, and I guess it happens in season 1, but it was, to me, it had already happened.
Right.
So I was just like, oh, that's interesting. This is a story about like these people who are like have children but they're separated, but it's like whatever. Like that's fine as a setup.
Right.
But I never realized they were like. I realized they were together at one point,
Right.
but I didn't realize that the show actually showed us that point.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was. I liked it better as just the backstory that they talk about, that like you don't actually have to see it because you understand.
You're watching like you watch the prequel to a film. It's like you don't really need it if the original movie's good enough.
Right. Or like in a film, if like the character's parents are divorced or something, it's like you kind of understand.
Yeah, like it's not like
you don't need a scene where the character is a child and his parents are getting divorced, and it's like no, like I understand.
Yeah, or like whenever there's a dead parent, like a family member that's died, all you see is like photos of them everywhere, and then they'd be like, "Oh, that's something Mum would say," and you're like, "Oh, that's all the context I need." Bloop-de bloop.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh wow, the mum
all the
was
time in
secretly
movies.
the scientist that gave you the superpowers, Jimbo. Now go kill the evil corporate man.
Yeah, that's like you see.
That's every kid's superhero movie, pretty much.
Yeah, like movies.
Yeah.
Movies tend to be a lot better about that because they have to, because they have much more time limitations. Where it's
right.
They'd rather show you, like, oh, the mom's clearly not here, and you can pick up on that, and then like maybe there's one scene where it's like the kid like kind of looks longingly at like an old family photo.
Right.
And it's like, and then it moves on. It doesn't need to expressly tell you. It can show you, like, and I think sometimes TV shows, because of like the nature of them being like episodic and like much longer amounts of time to tell a story in, sometimes they'd be like, oh, we're gonna show you this, and then we're gonna show you that, and then this is gonna happen, and then we're gonna tell you about that, and it's like some of that, especially up front, I don't mind skipping.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some films, what they do is like if the whole thing is centered around the death, they'll do like a happy cutscene later on in the film or something. Or it should be weird if you just did every movie where you started from the death of the character, but like that Big Hero 6 that came out a couple years ago. I guess spoilers. That would be really weird if you cut out all the context beforehand and just threw you halfway. But like I'd be interested to see if like what films you could get away with that. Like I would like like where you just start right after, not after, like as in like right after the death.
Okay,
so then it's like,
let's go with Pixar. I guess I mean, I don't know. We can't warn spoilers all the time. We're going to talk about Pixar for a minute, so just be warned. But Big Hero 6, for example, it's like, if you don't have the backstory with the older brother, then there's no real feeling of loss.
It's just like, oh, his older brother died.
Yeah,
and now he's going to a school.
Yeah, you need all that stuff beforehand because it establishes the characters, but it also makes like the loss way more real.
Yeah.
As opposed to something.
And big spoilers, establishes the villain.
Right.
And the whole kind of plot of the story.
Yeah, and that's something like I always felt was somewhat missing from like Bambi. I guess the idea is that the kid is supposed to just assume that it was like a good mother, and you can associate it with your own mother or whatever, you know?
Right,
and so you don't really need to establish the character of the mother, but it's like she dies right away, and it's like I don't think of it as a big loss.
What I do find weird is in all those movies they make the mums seem like angels and like saints.
Yeah, that's like a classic Disney thing.
Yeah. Or like those like Nickelodeon or Disney Channel films that play at midday.
Big Hero 6 kind of needs it.
Yeah.
To establish like that loss, but the movie Up, like there's probably like one of the saddest scenes in a movie like ever.
Yeah.
But
like the whole there's
that whole like back, like flashback
but
with
like
him and his wife.
Yeah.
It's really powerful to sort of just reference back to it.
Right.
In the way that they've done it. But I don't feel like I want an Up prequel that's all about them growing up as kids and like getting married and
yeah.
Like I don't want a prequel about their life. I think it's more powerful in the way that they did it. And that's sometimes what TV shows can feel like season 1, it's like if you start on season 2 and they just make reference to things that happened previously, it can be powerful, but then if you
if like it starts it's like previously on whatever.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think
I'm also like clearly I'm just like hard justifying me enjoying the show that I skipped season 1 of, but I think I'll watch season 1 eventually and maybe have follow up on this, but I think it legitimately might be a better experience to watch season 2 because I didn't. There was one point at like the last episode where I felt like I was a little confused because I think I missed the introduction of a character.
Yeah.
So maybe that would be an issue, but for most of the show, like I didn't feel like I was missing something because I was able to pick it up from the dynamics of the characters and like the things that they mentioned briefly. But it's like much nicer to have something like Up where it's like there's this like little flashback scene that gives you all the information you need and it's really powerful rather than like here's an entire prequel movie about their life together. It's like that. I mean, that seems like overkill, and that's kind of what it felt like after having watched season 2 and then realizing I skipped season 1 and looking back and thinking, do I want to watch this? I was like, I know everything that's gonna happen, and like I don't feel like I missed out on stuff.
Right.
So to now watch like a 10 episode recap of stuff I already know, it feels like overkill.
Yeah.
And it's like in some ways less powerful because you can. That's a big part of this is like you can imagine, like the perfect life with the Up guy and his wife and they love each other and it's like, but if you have to actually, if they had to actually make that into a full length movie and show it, like that would be a much harder thing to do.
Yeah.
Than it would be to imagine.
Yeah. I think with like the season like hopping type thing we've done with this, kind of reminds me of like how I watched The Office because my family's kind of watching it in order, but because I've watched enough of The Office, I can join in at any point and understand what's happening, even if I haven't seen the episode before.
Right. It's like yeah, and I think shows like The Office and like Parks and Rec and stuff are good at that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or like Always Sunny in Philadelphia is another one where it's like it's designed to be very good at like you just hop in and you're familiar with these characters and you go.
Yeah. And yeah. Because especially since some of like the characteristics of the characters stay throughout the show, so it's not like someone's mother die and then they swear never to make eye contact with Bobby ever again, and then there's like a whole like what? Why aren't they doing that? And it's like it should never be spoken of them. And,
I guess with the exception of like with the Parks and Rec, I know, and like How I Met Your Mother is like another good example. Like it's very easy to pick up, but the one thing that would be different would be like relationships.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was like. It would all probably make sense apart from like all the Office or other like relationships that are happening.
It's like, oh, in that previous episode I was watching, these people weren't dating, but now they are, and I missed something clearly. But otherwise, it's like there's still the same characters.
If you have enough context or the season, you can make sense of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how like sitcom type shows are generally.
Yeah, like Friends and...
Yeah, Friends is another example where it's like, you probably will understand it. The only thing that might be different is like, which ones are dating who.
Yeah, here's the thing, because like, sometimes they're dating like in Friends, like some of them are dating like a character that's only in a specific part. Sometimes you're joining like, what who is this person? Why do you care?
Yeah.
But it's only actually no, most episodes I've seen, but never mind. But yeah, is that all for our main general chat section?
I guess. I kind of lost the show notes. Oh, here they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the MBBC's been going well so far. I guess you're not gonna hear that yet.
Yeah. Okay. So the book club is, if you forgot from last episode, we're reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. And as opposed to the other one, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But yeah, so we're 3 chapters, by the time this comes out
now. Yep.
Yeah, 3 chapters in.
And you guys, and if you're listening to this, and you haven't read, you have a month now, so you should be able to catch up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been going well so far. I think it's definitely got me back into reading, even though if it's at quite a slow pace because we have to fit it around when we can record.
That is somewhat of a drawback to this, to where.
Yeah, maybe we could just like read the next 3 chapters and then just read back through them nearer the time. We could do something like that.
Yeah, maybe we're still working out the formula of what
we've
MBBC will
30,
be.
We have 32 chapters to go, so I think it'll be by the next book we should be geniuses at this.
So we're rather than in case someone hasn't read, rather than having that here, we're just gonna put it at the very end, after
the little jingle.
Well, yeah, a little jingle. There's not going to be any kind of like stinger you're missing out on, other than just the book club.
Yeah, so, and also I guess we'll have it as its own separate thing if you just want to watch.
Yeah. If you're listening on the YouTube channel, we'll go ahead and make a playlist. So if you don't get to it now, and if you read it a year from now or something, and you want to catch up on those rather than having to dig through all the podcasts, you can just find the playlist, and that'll be just those clips.
Yeah, but
a bit of future proofing there.
But yeah, this would be our first episode with the properly like fully testing this book club thing, and be interested to see what people think. I mean, people seem to like the idea, but probably not many people are going to listen to it first because most of our listeners that we've talked to haven't been able to be in a place to read it. But hopefully they're interested in. No, I think some of them are interested in joining eventually. But yeah,
we'll see. It's trying new things here. That also might mean that this episode.
It's mainly just
comes out really long.
yeah, but I don't know. I just think this mainly was a thing for both of us to start reading again, and it's just kind of coincidental that we have a podcast.
Yeah,
I think that's it pretty much.
I think if we are gonna do little, I should get more into reading a different book on the side.
Maybe something like that.
That is one thing I've noticed with this, where it's like, it's nice because it forces me to read the chapter so I can talk to you about it, but it's also so irregular that we sit down and record that it's it's like sometimes I read like 2 pages and it's like, oh, that was a chapter, and then I just sit and wait.
Yeah, and that's it. Maybe I know I've got the biography of Alexander Hamilton sitting in my bedroom, so I might crack that open. Give that a good
I think
read.
I've got to finish Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh yeah, the second book.
The second book, because it's split up into 2 books, and it's like, I read the first one and I figured that was a good place to stop for the year, but I should really finish the second one.
Yeah. I guess like game section's gonna be quick. I know I've been thinking about this, and so I just want to recommend you all to Nene Dab Simulator. 2018. It's quite a good game.
Nene Dab Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
No.
2018 is a little late for that, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm not-
the company went under. Don't know why though.
I'm not really a
put loads of money
connoisseur
in.
of pop culture, but particularly like mainstream, like memeage. I'm not too familiar with what all the young hip kids are doing these days, but
I mean, they're dabbing in
think-
Italian.
I think Nay Nay Dab Simulator sounds like something that would be much more of a 2016 kind of vibe. If I don't know if I'm correct.
They've been making games since 2016, but you know they've gone bust, and I don't know why. They were making such great games.
Such great games. I'm gonna have to look this up now because you have no link for me.
Oh, by the way, this is a thing I made up for a meme. This isn't actually a game. I mean, actually, what if it's actually a thing? I have to check.
Oh, I nailed it. I looked up Nay Nay Dab Simulator and I got 3 videos, none of which are related to the simulator, but are just related to whatever Nay Nays and Dabs are, and they're 2016. 2016, 2015, and 2016. I called it. 2018. way too late for a game like that.
Yeah, they've been pumping out games for a while, but
I do know what dabbing is. I don't really know what nay nay or whipping is.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
But I don't live in 2016 anymore. That's 3 years ago, so I don't need to know.
So yeah. What's the thing going with the cookie clicker? Because I think the competition part of it has kind of just died. So we might just end up having to disband it because it's like when we started it, I was off for like 2 weeks.
It is.
So you were able to get a massive lead on me.
It is pretty pitiful. We might have to put the cookie clicker to a close here.
And just play it because for our own good. Or maybe we can do a restart thing, whatever.
Well, I think I'm gonna do a soft reset. Because what I don't know if you've ever played it enough to or looked into it enough to realize this, but you can reset the more cookies you make.
Yeah, you get the legacy.
You get the legacy
I didn't really
points.
understand what that was when I was first playing, because I was like, why would I want to stop getting cookies?
Right. So
Why would I want to restart?
You ascend, and it clears all your cookies and your time machines and everything that you have.
Right. And then
but it gives
you get a cookie bonus.
Right. It gives you like just a base bonus to your like cookie multiplier or whatever. And it also there's also like skill points. Essentially, like there's a little tree that you can get. You can buy upgrades using like your heavenly chips or whatever.
Wait, what? Oh, is this after the ascension? Right?
After the ascension, it takes you to a page where you have like skill points that you can spend.
Okay, actually, I might ascend now, like in a bit. But,
yeah, so I think I might do that soon. The thing is, I have just over 7,000 legacy right now that I've built up.
Wow. I would say my number, but it would probably shame you.
What do you have?
For bullying a small child. No,
God.
190.
190.
See, this is bullying.
Oh my god, this is so bad.
Yeah,
but
you've got.
I think there's a bonus. I think there's a bonus for ascending when you have 7,777 legacy.
Probably a bit of a bonus.
Well, no, I don't mean just because it's a big number, but like if you get all 7s, I think there's like something special. So I'm gonna try and do that.
Right. I might just do it now, because I'm kind of getting bored of the devil worshipping grannies. You know,
the
one joke gets pretty old after they go all weird and
right
now they've all like brains with faces and they've gone weird. And the grandma icon is now.
You can make them back to normal grandmas if you do like the.
Yeah, I have the elder covenant thing.
Covenant, yeah.
But it costs quite a bit. Oh no, it doesn't cost anything actually. But I might do a restart though, because I like the thing with Cookie Clicker is I like the beginning stage when you're getting loads of money, and then I'm currently in a part where I'm kind of at a choking point. Oh, not really, yeah, because I'm at this point I'm saving money to buy the most expensive thing just to get up my CPS so I can just buy upgrades.
Yeah. But that's kind of
got to the boring phase of Cookie
that's kind of
Clicker.
what the Ascension is for. It's like once it starts to slow down, you can ascend and get like that fast progress again.
So I might
but
I'm clicking the Ascension button.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. Oh wow, the cookie just exploded. Ooh. What? Whoa, this is cool. What? Okay, reincarnate. Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
So do you have how many chips you said? You had
190.
90. Okay.
Or 191, I think. So like what? Cookie production multiplied plus 10%. Yeah, I'd get that.
Yeah.
Contains an assortment of rich butter cookies. Contains an assortment of fancy biscuits. Contains an assortment of popular biscuits. What? What does this do?
I'm still gonna wait until I have 4 sevens.
Tin of British tea biscuit. Oh, I see. I have to get all 4 of them, but I'll get that for now.
Which could take a while for me, actually, because it's kind of slowed down a bit.
Oh, that's what the heralds are. I noticed like the herald thing on the top right of my screen. I was like, what is that? And now I know. Yeah, I get that now. But yeah, okay, this is actually quite cool.
Yeah, so if you ascend a few times, like at like a decent rate, and leave it up in the background and stuff, like I don't know, I could see you catching up, but especially because like I haven't been playing it as much as I was.
Right.
But that does mean if we're gonna do the Ascensions, that does mean that we should compare, for our comparison, cookies baked all time, rather than the
CPS. Right?
CPS, because if you had
advantage you've had, yeah,
because if you just ascended, then it's like your CPS is gonna be nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna recon it. I spent all my good boy points.
All right.
Oh, the demon grandmas are still there. That's lovely.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. I'll restart in a second.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird just seeing all the grandmas out the background. Oh no, hang on, no, they're kind of calming down a bit. What's this? Oh, I get to pick the milk? What? I forgot, what does the milk do? Does that just show... I forgot what the milk does.
You get different milk based on how many achievements you have. I think right now I have like some green milk. I don't know.
Green milk. I've got there's like a little milk window. You've got lime milk.
Where is that?
I think I got to caramel milk.
No.
No, mate.
Stats.
Yeah, I got to caramel milk. No, I'm just playing Cookie Clicker. No, this has just become the Cookie Clicker podcast. I need to...
Lime milk, yes. I have. So lime milk is when you have 150 achievements, I guess.
Chapter 1.
So, this is the first chapter of... No, it's not really a what? Recording?
What?
It's not an episode.
Oh, I see, like the first segment of the MBBC.
Okay, so this is the first meeting, I guess, of the Minty Boys Book Club.
Yep, you'll wear a blindfold, put one hand on the Bible, and swear an oath to the MBBC.
Right. No association with the BBC. Please do not sue.
No. You're not. Yeah. Yeah.
So.
No copyright
Right,
intended.
copyright not intended. Moving right along. I hope everyone at home did their reading. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Chapter 1.
So, yeah, how did you find Chapter 1?
Good. I don't know. Might be the problem with this whole thing is I have a hard time, like, explaining my general feelings about things. Like, if you ask me specifically about parts, I could tell you more, but...
Yeah.
I just, like, I don't know. I like the way Douglas Adams writes things.
Yeah,
Like, the narrator voice is strong.
Yeah, you always, like, read, like, some of the sentences in, like, your head, like, quite sarcastic, I guess, like, yeah, the way he writes, you can kind of... I don't know what that is about it, but it's like you can kind of tell it's like a humorous book, I guess. Or
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just like something about the style it's written in and the choice of words. But yeah, it's I think the first chapter is quite good at setting up the whole rest of the book. Because yeah, it establishes like Arthur Dent quite well.
And Ford Prefect.
With the whole... Yeah. And it kind of, like, sets up, like, how... I guess Arthur is a bit, like, of a... Like, the example of how he moved away from London because it made him, quote, nervous and irritable.
Right.
Because, yeah, it just shows you that, like, what type of person he is. And, yeah, because it's quite... Yeah, it's quite good at that, and also Ford... Find, like... Yeah, it also sets up Ford quite well of showing him just being I guess, like, I don't know, I kind of read it as if, like, he didn't really have an idea what was going on Earth. Like, he was kind of oblivious to everything that was happening around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the whole conflict of the house being bulldozed, he was like, well, what's the problem? I don't see the issue. You just... Like, what? Just let him do what he wants. It's like, no, do you not understand like the significance of the situation?
This is my house. I don't want it to be bulldozed. But
yeah, it's quite good at like yeah.
It's interesting that they most of his character is introduced through the narration. Like Arthur doesn't actually know.
Yeah.
In chapter 1, he doesn't know that he's like not from Earth and stuff. But it explains all of that through the narration, explaining that he's from like Beetlejuice and stuff.
Yeah, it's quite good. Yeah, it's yeah. But I also like throughout the first chapter, for Mr. Prosser, like to kind of poke fun at like the character, they will just like. Throughout the text or like the book, they will just compare him to Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
His great grandfather, which is quite funny.
That's another thing where it's like that's entirely in the narration. It's like at no point are any of the characters aware that he's like distantly related to Genghis Khan.
Yeah. It does show, some of like the wit in the text, and it kind of like shows, I guess, the type of humor the book is going for, because it's kind of belittling Mr. Prosser, but at the same time doing it in a, I guess like it's not like I don't know. I guess it's like a narration that's kind of trying to make you laugh, at the same time trying to make sure you know that he is the not good, pretty much.
Yeah, he's like he's stressing out and like having visions of like horses and battles and things.
Yeah.
He's like he's just not really understanding and clearly like out of his depths as far as like rank.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's a balk.
Oof.
Yeah, it's also good at setting up the humor of the book, I guess. Like, I did like some of the jokes of the when he was talking about where he could have found out about these plans, and it was, oh yeah, they were perfectly on display, and it was, yes, on display in the bottom of a filing cabinet in an unused lavatory with a sign on the door saying "Beware
A
of
locked
leopard."
filing cabinet.
Yeah,
I feel like if anything's
yeah,
locked, it's not
yeah.
really on display then, is it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it kind of, the text goes out of its way to like show how like against Arthur this whole situation is.
Yeah.
And it's quite humorous. I did like the whole like paragraph dedicated to talking about point A, what a bypass was, and saying like the point A to point B very fast. And then people were living at point C, which is directly in between. And then I think, was it point D? Yeah, point D where Mr. Prosser wanted to be.
Right.
It was just like a house. And then there was like point E, which is the local nearby pub. Which was quite funny as well.
Right. Yeah, that does kind of capture the style that like the narration is in, because it's in the form of like almost like an encyclopedia, or like a like math formula with like point A, point B.
Yeah. Which I
but
guess like isn't.
It's like not, but it's also like clearly not written too seriously. It's like very matter of fact.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he did.
Yeah.
Little did he know he was, you know, a direct male lineage to Genghis Khan. But
Yeah.
it's then it like kind of goes in like silly directions.
Yeah, it's also, I liked the, as well, of paragraphs describing weird things. There's the large paragraph describing the drinking game they play.
Oh yeah.
With Old Jank Spirit, where you just stare at a bottle and wait for it to pour into your opponent's glass.
Yeah, you're supposed to like lift
And
it with your mind or something.
Yeah, and then
you have to drink whatever gets poured into your glass.
yeah,
Which then makes it harder.
but then
for
it's
you
just like,
to do.
yeah, but then it turns out that Ford just ends up playing it to lose.
Yeah, he does.
Which is
I was gonna say this earlier. He does seem to get drunk a lot for someone who's supposed to be researching.
Yeah, he does quite like his drink, yeah. Yeah. Another quite funny thing was, like, the background conflict of the demolition people, like, trying to get hazard pay for Arthur lying down, and Mr. Prosser having to deal with, like, all that, and then, like, they get, what, is it, like, a union, but yeah, they get in, like, there's this whole, like, background conflict of the workers trying to get pay for Arthur lying down, and then I think, isn't there a point where they get like a official person to discuss this with Mr. Prosser, which is quite funny.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
towards the end
Mr.
of that
Prosser,
scene,
who was
he's
arguing.
Like, did you have the bit?
Yeah, Mr. Prosser, who was arguing with the spokesman for the bulldozer drivers about whether or not Arthur Dent constituted a mental health hazard, and how much they should get paid if he did.
Yeah, and
which is quite funny.
And by the end, after Ford talks to him, he's lying down in front of the bulldozer.
Yeah, he manages to convince him just
and
to
he's
lie
trying
down.
to figure out if
and
he's
just
now
like
a mental health hazard.
Yeah,
He's clearly not a very smart man.
No, yeah, and Ford does seem to be quite good at persuading people, I guess, being from advanced alien race does, I guess, might help with that. Yeah, it kind of does show, like, also kind of demeans Mr. Prosser in the process, which is also quite funny. Because it shows again, like, how we shouldn't really stick up for Mr. Prosser, and Arthur is the person we really want to be. Like how Arthur is the person we want to be, like the main person we support.
Right.
Well,
yeah, that's pretty clear from the whole situation. Like, he's the most relatable, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of people reading this that are like, oh, if the plans were on display, I mean, it's really Arthur's fault. Like,
yeah. No one's really rooting. Yeah. It is actually quite good at setting up the rest of the universe about Beetlejuice and everything. Like the song about, they would sing in the mines about Old Jank Spirit. And Old Jank Spirit also is like a part of what's like a very like a cultural thing in like that area of space. Right. Here it says it was served in the Mandarite mining belts in the star system of Orion Beta. Yeah. But yeah, no, the chapter does seem to be quite good at establishing the world and the characters and how the book will deal with, I guess, with certain situations. Like someone's house being knocked down. But also, yeah, it's quite good at introducing the characters. Arthur gets like the first paragraph to himself pretty much, but then it feels like, from what I remember, like every character gets at least like a somewhat decent description, but it feels like Ford gets like, it feels like a whole page.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. He gets like a page and a half of introduction.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about Arthur is meant to be sort of the audience insert in a way. He's just sort of a bland, like everyman kind of character.
Yeah, like this could have happened to anyone.
Yeah. So thing. It makes sense he requires less description because you're familiar with, if it's someone that's basically supposed to relate to you, then the author doesn't need to waste time explaining who you are.
Yeah, and I like how his job description is just, it's more interesting than, it's more interesting than you think it is, which, because it just says he worked in the local radio, and that doesn't really give much of anything.
And I feel like that's a somewhat a reference to the original publish of this, which was originally a radio show before it was a novel.
Yeah, it was a radio show, and then it became a book.
Right.
It's just kind of weird to think how it would be a radio show first, but I think they still play it on BBC Radio 4, not a Spawn, from time to time.
Yeah.
I think the most recent one is the Hexagon series, or something like that. I forgot. I kind of half was listening to it in the car, a couple months back, but yeah.
And I guess in that way you could argue that Arthur is a bit of a self-insert for Douglas Adams, in that he was working at the radio, writing the radio show for this about a character who has a job in radio. Although you could make the same argument for Ford, because when he was younger he used to hitchhike a lot. So which I guess the book I guess relates to Ford, as he's mentioned he knows how to signal spaceships and get lifts.
Yeah, like how it always talks about him looking in the air for, and then whenever people ask him, he says flying saucers, which people think he's joking, but he's actually genuine.
He's being serious.
He's like being 100%.
They've established he doesn't really understand sarcasm too well. Like, he's not joking.
Or sometimes when he's really concentrating, But yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think that's chapter 1. Unless you had any more notes you wanted to go over.
Oh, I did like the whole thing about like the house. That was quite funny as well. Like the windows set in the front of a size and proportion which more or less exactly failed to please the eye. Which is quite funny. I guess that's also quite a humorous part. I guess it also adds to like the importance of this house to Arthur, not because it's like I guess he lives in it, but it's like even though it's like hideous and in the way, it's like it kind of makes you sympathize more for him.
Yeah, it's establishing
and
it's
be like,
it's
oh,
kind
no.
of a plain house.
Yeah,
Arthur's
it's just
not
a house.
some rich snob with a mansion that's like right in the way.
It's just a house that happens to be in a field.
Yeah.
Where they want to build a road.
Oh, I was gonna say about so like self-insert type characters are pretty common. Like another good example would be like Lord of the Rings and like The Hobbit and stuff. You see, you can kind of see like Bilbo, especially. Feels very much like Tolkien, and that he's just like, the Shire is very similar to like just England and whatnot. And he's like, he's writing this book about his journey. Yeah, it's like that's very clearly like the author, is also writing a book.
Yeah.
But I think it's easy to write a character that's like relatable to yourself because that's what you're familiar with. And I think that's where some of the best characters come from because it's more genuine. You don't have to do a lot of like making stuff up because you can just you know that character already because it's you.
Yeah, it's not like those books where it's like I guess like those books where it's you can clearly tell it's like a 50-year-old writing a book for teenagers. It's like
like some old man heard that vampires were zeitgeisty and they were like, oh, let's just write some thing about some edgy vampire or something. It's like, no, it's gotta be something you can relate to and like really understand.
Yeah. Actually, I do want to add, I do like how it sets up the whole thing of it. It's just his morning routine. And then he just realizes that there's a giant bulldozer outside his house and he just goes and lies down. Like it talks about him waking up, brushing his teeth. And then there's like the word bulldozer kind of phases through his head. And then after he's eaten, got dressed and everything, he goes just and he lies down.
Or was it yellow?
Yeah, it's bulldozer, then bulldozer again, then yellow again.
Yeah, and he's like trying to remember.
And then he just keeps instead of remember, like he just remembers being just incredibly drunk and talking about being sad about something. Then he comes to the realization it was about a bypass. I mean, he said, well, the council doesn't have a leg to stand on, so it'll sort itself out. And then he was like, oh wait, hang on. And then he has to go outside.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't sorting itself out.
Yeah. Well, it was sorting itself out, but not in his favor.
Yeah. I like that the guy who gave him the notice as well cleaned his windows. And
oh, yeah.
got $5 off him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, oh, well, because he was, I thought he was the window cleaner. It does kind of, I think words. Chapter 1 is quite good. But yeah, I think this has been a good first installment for the MBBC.
Right.
But this should be good to read together because it seems that we both like the humor and the how the author writes it. So yeah, it's probably yeah.
All right. So until we read the next chapter.
Yeah. Until then. Chapter 2. Chapter 2 was Chapter 2 was quite short, as it does seem to be leading us into something on Chapter 3. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think I like the way it opens up with the Encyclopedia Galactica entry about alcohol, which kind of, I guess, foreshadows the rest of the chapter, which is quite good. But yeah.
Yeah, and it like compares it to the Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah,
entry.
the Hitchhiker's Guide teaches you how to make like the strongest cocktail out there.
The Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. There's some really good lines in this chapter for how short it is.
Yeah.
Like the first half is all about the book entries on alcohol, and then like the second half they're just like in a pub or whatever, like, and Ford is talking about how it's the end of the world.
Yeah, and because of his, it also shows again how like matter of fact he is, and kind of like, he's talking what's it called, the bartenders or the pub owner is trying to talk to him about the football game, and he's like, oh, no point, the world's ending. It's like, well, yeah. It's like he just keeps saying, oh yeah, well, Arsenal's not going to lose that bad, or stuff like that.
It's like he's like, no, the world's ending.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not. Yeah. Or there's quite the funny part where the guy sees that he has 6 pints and he walks up. He's like, "What are you doing? Go away." It's quite funny. Yeah. And then Arthur soon comes in and they have a small discussion, and he's just like, "What if I told you I come from Beetlejuice?" And he's like, "Well, why would you say such a thing?"
Yeah, no, that part's the best. It's like, it's so cleverly written. He's like,
yeah.
How would you react if I told you I'm not from Guildford? After all, but from a small planet somewhere in the vicinity of Beetlejuice. And he's
Arthur shrugged in a so sort of way. I don't know, he said. Why do you think it's the sort of thing you're likely to say?
Yeah, it's like, how would you react? It's like, I don't know. Is that something you're likely to say? It's like,
just hypothetically.
Yeah. This is nonsense, and I love it.
Yeah, and I do love the beginning of the chapter kind of foreshadows the drink up, and he's asking like, what? It's 3 pints on at lunch on a Thursday. He's like, muscle relaxant. He's like, wait, what? Muscle relaxant? Yeah. This chapter's quite good at, like, I guess the first chapter was set up, and then this one is kind of, I guess, kind of easing us into what's about to happen in the next one. But I do like the ending line is, I never could get the hang of Thursdays. It's quite like a...
Oh yeah, that was another great one.
It was quite a good one.
That and time is an illusion, lunchtime doubly so. Alright, well, I feel like that's about all we have to say.
Yeah, but it does have some quite funny lines, and it expands on, I guess, like, emphasizes some of the the flaws and just emphasizes on the characters a bit more, and kind of eases us into the rest of the book from the nice calm intro.
Yeah.
Also, what I do like is this whole time he's still in his muddy pajamas. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we have to say about this chapter. Chapter 3. So you said you had some notes on Chapter 3.
Yeah. So this one, it opens, I don't quite remember where it opens, but it's talking about, at some point it's talking about stuff Ford has in his bag.
Yeah, like a paragraph after.
Yeah. I guess it opens with, like, saying how no one detected the Vogon spaceships.
Yeah, and it kind of continues the thought of Thursday.
Right, yeah. That's where it started. But it's Yeah, it's like the only thing on Earth that detected it was this thing which he keeps in his bag. But
Right.
he also keeps like scripts for plays he can pretend he's auditioning for to keep everybody like away from him.
Yeah. Yeah. And a towel.
Right, and it goes into the importance of his towel, but before it really goes off talking about the towel, it leads into that by talking about the Hitchhiker's Guide,
Right. Yeah.
which is really like it's. I always find it fascinating in older sci-fi stuff, when they describe like so vividly like an idea for a thing which doesn't exist, but
Right.
then
Yeah.
reading it now, it's like, oh, he's got like an ebook format. Like it's talking about how like, oh, the Hitchhiker's Guide, if it was printed on paper, it would,
It was like several cities.
yeah, it would take up like a city block in just the paper that the hitchhiker would have to carry around with him, which wouldn't be practical. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, he has a.
Yeah.
I think there's a line in there that's like, it's got a screen which can pull up any number of pages in quotation marks. Like, it's essentially like a Kindle.
Yeah, it's just an e-reader. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, hang on. No, this is already a thing.
Yeah. That's why. That's part of why I really wanted to read this book on an e-reader, even though
Right, yeah.
I had like a physical copy of it. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and buy the ebook version because
Yeah.
that
It was the
just
opposite, because I had it on my phone, but then I was like, oh, it's probably a bit more practical to have on paper for school and stuff.
right, yeah. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's better in school because I hear,
Yeah.
uh, even if it's like one of those really basic e-readers that can't go on the internet, sometimes teachers will still get mad at you and take them away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no electronics, grumble, grumble. But
I do like how this chapter is just what happened in the first chapter, but on just a larger scale, which is pretty much what this book is. Like, it's just like the whole thing where he didn't notice the bulldozer, and then suddenly he realized it as soon as it's like right outside his door. And then this one, it's the exact same.
yeah, he's like shouting at the guy, and everyone's running away, and then he's like finally like he trips and looks up.
Yeah, and he's like, oh my god, what?
It's kind of really
Yeah.
establishing Arthur Dent as like this man that is just completely out of his depth. It's like he's just like a normal guy, and he's like somewhat unobservant, and
Yeah.
is like obviously going to be baffled by all of this space stuff happening.
Yeah.
Um, there was a line I thought that was good. Around that spot. Let me see if I can find it.
Just running back through all the funny lines, they're quite good. Like the paper bag. That's what they taught us in the army. Man, I'm just reading the chapter again, pretty much.
Lay down and put a paper bag over our heads. If you like.
Yeah.
Will it help?
Yeah.
No. Oh, here it is.
Well, there was that whole paragraph about like the person that had taken this girl out on a date, and then she was like, "Oh, thank God, we're all gonna die."
Right.
But yeah, continue.
Here's the line. It's like, it's talking about the ships, how they were like moving through the sky, and then suddenly they stopped in their position. They're like just hung in the sky, motionless. It says the ships hung in the sky in much the same way that bricks don't.
Oh yeah, I thought that was
And then it
quite
just
funny.
moves on to like the next paragraph or whatever. It's just like, I was reading that, I was like, wait a second, like that's really impressive in that it gives a really good mental image, because you just by saying the word brick, like you think of them as like in very like specific locations, like very
Right.
firmly placed.
Right, yeah.
But at the same time, like there could have been any word in that sentence and it still would have made sense because it was don't. Like, hang in the sky the same way squirrels don't. Hang in the sky the same way leprechauns don't. Like, it's just like...
It's a weird, like, reverse simile.
Yeah, it's like... It's strange because there's no real information, but somehow it paints a picture in your mind.
Yeah.
I also like... How do you feel about the Vogon intercom? Like,
that part was quite good. You guys have had all this time, and it's only been 4 light years away. And it's like,
yeah, they're like, it's been on display at the planning office.
Yeah.
What do you mean you've never been to Alpha Centauri?
Apathetic, bloody planet. I have no sympathy at all. Stops.
They're great. But they're so bureaucratic.
Yeah. Well, it's quite funny as well. Like you can kind of tell the whole time that just Arthur is just pissed.
Yeah.
Like the whole time, you could just tell. Like the first time he was hungover, and then now this time he's just still drunk because he's just had 3 pints of beer.
Right. Yeah. This is
also, I love
the second time today for him as well. Like,
yeah.
It's like, no, I didn't go to the bloody planning office and go into the locked filing cabinet in the basement over in Alpha Centauri. Like,
yeah. Oh, I do love the bit where it's talking about. I forgot. It's just talking about the satchel, and it was like, oh, and to make sure everyone is calm. Oh yeah, no, it has. Yeah, no, it looks insanely complicated. But to make sure no one panicked, they put the words in all caps, "Don't panic," printed on it in large friendly letters.
Yeah.
Which is quite funny. It's like, oh.
I kind of wish I had...
It kind of gives you a, like... yeah, but I'd say that part kind of just shows you, like, how different these two species are in, like, their ways they deal with things. Like, don't panic in, like, giant letters would probably... panic a person, but in
I'm reading
to
this...
them they're like, oh, okay, don't panic, okay.
No, I mean it's big friendly letters. So
big friendly letters.
But also,
I'm guessing it's
also
him
it's
trying
like,
to relate to people.
It's like big, all caps shouting,
like
"Don't panic." Usually is like gets the opposite result.
Yeah, on my book cover it's like the top right, and it's just got "Don't panic," and it's like bright red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reading this on a Kindle Paperwhite, not Spawn. And I really kind of wish I had a case for it that had "Don't panic" on it. That would be amazing.
That would be quite funny, yeah.
I just have like a normal like black leather case or whatever, but I should get a different one that says "Don't panic."
Yeah. Oops, that is the next chapter. Is that all to say about chapter 3?
I guess, yeah. It ends pretty abruptly. And it doesn't actually give indication whether or not they survive. So maybe they're dead. Maybe that's the end of the series. Or we just start following a different character. That's just clearly what's going to happen.
How many pages left of this book? 700 and...
And if you're listening to this and you haven't read along, spoiler, the Earth gets destroyed at the end of chapter 3.
726, 25 minus 726. So the next 701 pages are just describing their horrific death.
Right. 1 millisecond
of every
at a time.
Person on Earth. Yeah, it's just drawing out a millisecond into over 700 pages.
Well, no, he said it would take about 2 minutes. Did he mean it was going to happen in 2 minutes? Or the process would take about 2 minutes? Because that's a decent amount of time to be evaporating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you'd feel it, wouldn't you? Oh, God.
Maybe it's because they have to go through the whole planet. So, like, everything on the surface would be, like, in an instant.
Because the way it describes it is that, like, these are just, like, giant space bulldozers. But then it says energize the demolition beams. So are they being evaporated or being crushed? Or both, I'm guessing both.
Yeah, I mean... yeah. They're like space bulldozers, except they're not going to actually touch the thing like a bulldozer. They're just going to shoot a beam at it.
Yeah, right.
Um,
But yeah, I think that's all.
yeah.